Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Woody Allen retrospective right here on PlanetTyro.com. I'm your host, Donald Wonder, and I'm joined as always with my co-host, Simon Red.
Wow, okay. We're right in the middle of it. After some technical difficulties, no nicknames, no fucking around. Just straight up reviewing. Very professional today.
Yeah, we're going to be very professional because, guys, as Simon just said, we had a lot of technical difficulties. We actually already recorded this review, but we got to do it again. And it's been a very bad week. So guys, I'll just quickly go through this. If you missed our last discussion, last time we actually spoke about Mighty Aphrodite. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll put a link on the screen so you can go there and click the description, go back to those videos. We got the website WoodyAllenRetro.com where all the previous discussions are. These are always spoiler discussions. Guys, today we're going to cut to the goddamn chase. If you've been following us, you know we've been doing these Woody Allen reviews for God knows how long. We're continuing, and this time we're going to talk about one that, again, is a minor, not a film per se. This is a minor TV movie Woody Allen took part in. And
Sidestep.
Yeah, sidestep. And Simon, just tell us what it's about, a brief summary, and then let us get into the goddamn review.
Okay, well, here we go again. Like I said, this is a sidestep because it's not directed by Woody Allen. And also, it's not for the big screen. It's another television movie. And similarly to, what was it? Don't Drink the Water?
That's it.
It's also based on a play that was already adapted into a film. And this is sort of a remake, but also a re-adaptation of the play. I mean, you can decide if it's remaking the film or re-adapting the play. It's called The Sunshine Boys, which is a well-known title, well-known play, you know, moderate success as a movie. It's sort of an old school, I would say classic, you know, not one of the big classics, but certainly a decent enough film. And there was something going on in the 90s where they kept remaking this stuff for television, but I don't know, I never thought they could capture the spirit of the originals. And kind of this is where this movie leads into. It sounds good on paper. The director was John Erman.
Yeah.
And it stars Woody Allen, the legendary Peter Falk, Sarah Jessica Parker. And guess what? In the smaller roles, you have some pretty cool cameos from also very well-known, very talented actors.
Go ahead and name them, Simon. Last time I was on your case about it. Just name them all.
Oh, yeah. Like, you guys missed it. But last night, Don did this whole secret reveal show. It took us 20 minutes just to get through all the damn cameos. And again, you didn't even have the names of the actors up. So that was another interesting little sidestep. Because this whole week is full of sidestep. The movie's a sidestep. The technical difficulty is one. Anyway, the biggest one is Whoopi Goldberg, who comes in late in the film. Also, for people who watch Better Call Saul, the kind of prequel to Breaking Bad, Michael McKean, who plays Saul's brother, Chuck, he's in this. And also your boy, who's... It took us like an hour to find the correct name.
For Lev Schreiber, yeah, the guy who's now doing Ray Donovan. He was in X-Men Origins Wolverine. And he was in that movie with Michael Keaton, that reporter movie about the pedophiles. I can't remember the name of it right now.
Yes, Spotlight. There you go. So again, he's one of those good actors that
very good
has been around for ages, but he's never really a leading man in anything that's continuously successful. Like, he does his big movies.
He was also in Salt with Angelina Jolie. He was one of the bad guys.
Yeah, he does these big films, but he seems to stand out more in the lower budget indie scene. But nevertheless, very good actor, you know. Not everybody's an action star, and I don't think he needs it, even though every time he's an action movie, he can do it. But that's not what this movie is about. You know, we're derailing the topic because, once again, this film is quite straightforward and not that entertaining. The basic setup is that Woody Allen and Peter Falk are a comedic duo from the 60s. They were huge, but they had a falling out, haven't talked in nearly a decade or over a decade. Doesn't really matter because they're both old and grumpy, especially Peter Falk. You know, Woody Allen is the type of guy who has his setup, he has his family, but Peter Falk is all lonely. He's a grumpy old man. They try to get him work, and it doesn't really happen because he's impossible to work with. And Sarah Jessica Parker is technically his niece, so his deceased brother's daughter, if I remember correctly. And she's the one pushing him to kind of get back into the game and trying to help him out with new roles, commercials. And the big opportunity that comes up is a small part in a film, but it's the best scene in the film, that is specifically written for him and his old school comedic partner Woody Allen, because somebody at Warner Brothers remembers their prime time.
And he doesn't want to do it because he's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, that's it. We've seen this before. You know, this is almost like a subgenre of a movie. There are for two aspects. There are plenty of movies even today that are centered around like old school friends, like, you know, at late age, 50s, 60s, getting back together. There's that one out now called Going in Style. There was Las Vegas. Usually they have Morgan Freeman in there.
You mentioned that Stallone and De Niro one on our last recording, the one that the recording we didn't get to show people.
Oh yeah, that was the other that I was leading up to it. So you have these old friends getting together, and then you have the old rivals getting together. That's where the Stallone De Niro movie Grudge Match comes in. So
yeah,
again, it is what you expect. They hate each other, and the whole comedic drive of the film that they just can't get along. And this isn't really bad for the first 30 minutes. I thought the first 30 minutes is actually very funny.
Yeah.
The dialogue's funny, the characters' chemistry works out well, and even though it's very odd to see Peter Falk be directed this way, because Peter Falk is a great actor, and he could have easily played this character with more charm, or just closer to home, kind of like it's a grumpy version of himself. But here, he's going all out. He has a specific walk, mannerisms, even voice. You know, does this really annoying voice throughout the whole film. He really goes all out to portray this character at his worst. You know, if you look at other works from him in this era, even later episodes of Columbo, where he's older, he gives a more energetic performance. But here, no way. From the first scene to the last, he's consistently really, really, really annoying. And that hurts the film, because we're not going to go into as much detail as last time, but the point is, I think you were really annoyed how he treats Sarah Jessica Parker, and in return, how Sarah Jessica Parker just kind of sticks around and takes it, you know, because she's that kind of relative who realizes, okay, this is a grumpy old man, but I'm his only family, so I gotta stick by him.
Well, let me jump in here, because again, we're not going to go into too much detail with this one, but I will thank you for recording this again, because as you said, the last time we had this discussion about this TV movie, I did ramble on, and I wouldn't say I was incoherent, but this time I think I can deliver my problem with the movie a bit more. And to be honest with you, it's not just a problem with this particular movie, it's a problem with plays that are turned into movies, because I always feel
Here we go.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to go on too long, but I always feel like if you're going to turn a play into a movie, you don't just do a direct adaptation of that in front of a camera. I think you need to infuse a more interesting narrative and change it. It needs to be an adaptation. If you just put a camera in front of two guys acting for an hour and a half, trust me, I don't think you can hold it. Now, there is some movies that are the exceptions to the rule, but guess what? This ain't one of them, because just like you said, after half an hour, I just was like, I've seen it all, and Peter Falk's character is so unlikable, and it's not his fault. As the actor, he does really well. All the actors is fine, except for one, which I'll get to in a minute, but this needed to be more than just a play in front of a camera, because after half an hour, you've seen it. The camera work is average. It's TV movie. If Woody Allen did this, I mean, Woody Allen did Don't Drink the Water, and I had more or less the same complaint, but comparing that to this, to be fair, there was a lot more going on in that movie than this one. Even though, as you said before, which you didn't say now, there was some scenes outside, and they do go to the studio to shoot the little movie, and they do some things outside of his apartment. So is that, but honestly, the characters overall are just unlikable. And the thing that really, I think I wouldn't be upset with this movie so much, is if it wasn't for Sarah Jessica Parker, always get her name mixed up. It wasn't for her character annoying the hell out of me, because I just don't think, this is the woman that held Sex and the City for how many years? That was meant to be this feat. 6
seasons.
years, 2 movies. He's meant to be this embodiment of, feminism and liberal sex and all this other shit. And then in this movie, she's not playing the damsel in distress. She's just playing someone whose motivations are not written well at all. She wants to help her uncle get this part for money? No. To help her because she's selfish? No. Just because. And it's not enough because her uncle is a fucking asshole. He even says some shit to her where it's like, if you're gonna, she needed to play a part. Like Woody Allen and Peter Falk are on this level. They're on an equal footing. The third billing is Sarah Jessica Parker, and she's not bringing it. She's just basically, Uncle, do the part. Uncle, do the part. Why aren't you doing the part? You're pissing me off. I'm like, if you're gonna be so whiny and you're not on these guys' level, just take her out the movie. And guess what? Hey, I'm bitching about it. It wouldn't have bothered me so much. It's if at the end, Whoopi Goldberg didn't have a 5-minute cameo, which was miles better than her performance. So I'm like, hey man, why couldn't...
But it's a better written character.
Yeah, it is a better written character. But why isn't she in the movie for longer? Because her character would have made the movie a whole lot better. So I was just like, Sarah Jessica Parker was a waste. Whoopi Goldberg was in it for 5 minutes. She was better. And the Woody Allen and Peter Falk can't hold up the movie. And after half an hour, I just really had enough. And I think to add insult to injury, Peter Falk reminded me of my dad. Who is a grumpy...
A lot of people have issues with watching their father, on screen. And yeah.
It's just too much. The actors are good. All of that is good. But honestly, this is just... It just needed to be more than the play. Because, hey, Simon, if we was watching this live... I might have enjoyed seeing them in person on the stage doing this for an hour and a half. We could have all spoken about it. We would have felt their aura. But I'm watching it, I don't know, as a TV movie. I just think you need to do more. And I'm trying... I just think that's the problem I had with the movie. I honestly just think it's very minimal. And if you guys ever heard this movie called The Sunset Limited with Samuel L. Jackson and Tommy Lee Jones, this is a movie where these two guys are in a room and all they do is have a conversation, very much like this movie, and it's miles better because the dialogue is a lot more interesting, and it's not just an arsehole character and a kind of a middling character. But yeah, I'll say some more, but I'll let you just feed off what I just said there.
Well, I know where you're coming from, and I've been thinking about this actually. We spoke about how Whoopi Goldberg's character could have been a nurse who's looking after Peter Falk the whole time because he's literally on his own, and she's the one trying to get them back together, so she shows initiative and goes after this opportunity and all that. And that could have been better. That's one angle. I mean, I understand kind of what Sarah Jessica Parker is doing here, because up until this point, she was the girlfriend in every movie. I mean, one of her biggest roles early on was the girlfriend in Footloose, and then she was Nicolas Cage's girlfriend in, what was it? I forgot that movie's name. Doesn't matter. It is the one where he sells his wife, I think.
I'll put it on the screen if you're on YouTube. That will break the difference.
It's the one where he jumps out of an airplane dressed as Elvis. That's the movie, but
I haven't even seen it, if that makes you feel any better. I haven't even seen it.
Don't matter. Point is, here she gets to play a mom. She gets to play an agent, a little bit more self-sufficient, and she gets to act with legends like Woody Allen and Peter Falk. So I think overall, for her profile as an actress, it did okay. It was something different, and I think it benefited her a little bit.
Sure.
But
enough.
In terms of her off-screen character, I really think they missed an opportunity, because this is exactly the type of movie where you would have needed the asshole boyfriend. Like a lot of movies really benefit from when you have such a strong personality like Peter Falk's, right? In this film, like his characters.
Yeah.
And he's just mean to everybody. You really want an asshole in there that he can be mean to.
Yeah.
And you're rooting for him. Like, if Sarah Jessica Parker was dating somebody and she was really trying to get this thing working as an agent, and first, Peter Falk makes jokes about, you're terrible, I would be better off by myself, all this. And you're like, oh, that's kind of mean. But when the asshole boyfriend comes in and just starts making demands like, I can't do everything, you need to look after yourself, you need to do it, just putting pressure on her. If Peter Falk, cranks it up a notch and just really puts him in his place, that would make it more even. That would be like, okay, he actually cares about her. He's just grumpy on the outside, but he has a heart of gold, and he's smarter than you think. He actually knows what's going around. He's just playing around with people. But this movie's played ultra realistic, so there's no easy kind of redemption for anybody. Really says, like in real life, you just have people who as they get older, they get more annoying. And that's it. They're stubborn as hell too, and they never admit they're wrong. So good luck. And that's it.
Yeah.
Even the ending of the film, nobody really gets proper closure. It's kind of a very realistic ending, an ultra realistic ending where you don't even get the closure you would get in real life from a conversation. It's just you get a scene where they're like, you remember when we were younger? It wasn't so bad. I guess so.
Yeah, and that's going to leave you with a not so happy-go-lucky feeling like that guy's an arsehole. And not, you know what, let me put, because I think we spoke about all the negatives, there's one shining positive, and ironically, it's Woody Allen himself. Woody Allen in this movie is absolutely fantastic, and I've said this in the previous movies, I'm just so surprised at this point of his career, at his age, he's still showing so much energy. And, you know I was reading some of the reviews for this, and they were like, Woody Allen is the only one that comes out of this movie unscathed. And he did rewrite the character because the kind of comedian he was, they kind of had to update it. And hey, man, I don't want to say it's a selfish thing. Woody Allen just made himself look good. Unfortunately, it just turned out that way because he's likable. And don't get me wrong, the reason why Peter Falk's upset with him is actually reasonable. He put an end to their duo career, and that kind of pissed him off. And I was like, hey, I understand that. And for him to even hold a grudge, fair enough, because it did kind of ruin your life and all that stuff. But, Woody Allen his character just seems likable as the movie goes on, even though he kind of is. He did him wrong, but he's reasonable. He's trying to, leverage the guy. Like, I'm trying. There's a scene where he's coming to his house and he's like, what is it? Don't say come in, say, he's meant to say come in to Woody Allen, and he keeps on saying something else.
Enter.
And the enter! And it's so bad. Stop spitting in my face. It is, you know what? It's effective in the way that Peter Falk is so upsetting to Woody Allen. It upsets you. And that's a commendment to the actors that they pull it off. And Woody Allen takes it and he dishes it back sometimes as well. But yeah, Woody Allen does come off the best just because he's likable. And that's got nothing to do with the actors having the problem. It's just that Woody Allen, to me, and Whoopi Goldberg are the only two really likable characters in the movie. And hey, we're doing the Woody Allen retrospective, so I guess maybe we should just be happy for that. But, it's a movie. And again, there's great actors in this movie. As we listed off in the beginning, everyone in this movie, like all the other Woody Allen movies or television movies or specials by proxy, they're cast so well, you're always getting a treat. And this time, it's not the actors that are the problem. It's just the writing. And again, television movie, do something more. But maybe I should blame the director, because the director's known for doing adaptations.
Not known to me.
Well, I'm just saying, that's his career. Go on IMDb, you will see his second top billing, or his first top billing after this movie, is he did a remake of a streetcar named Desire.
A Streetcar Named Desire, Marlon Brando. Yeah, exactly.
The 1951 Marlon Brando movie. He remade it in 1986 with a half decent cast, Treat Williams and the other guy, I can't remember. Either way, it's a television movie of a very popular movie, just like this one. And I watched it. It's actually pretty decent, but this really isn't Sunshine Boys. I don't know, man. I don't want to really. This is longer than it really should be. A lot of people haven't seen this movie. Would I recommend this movie? You said this, Simon, in the very beginning. Check out the first half an hour. Don't go out of your way. It's good for the comedy, the dialogue, but this will frustrate the hell out of you. These characters, especially Peter Falk, he will frustrate you. I was watching my dad on screen being an arsehole. And it was too much for me. After half an hour, I lived this life. I don't need to see it on TV, but the actors are not the problem. They did a really good job. But the characters, and that's basically all I got to say. And the cinematography is very television. It just, it's a very passable movie. If you're a diehard, check it out. Otherwise, it's a skip.
My ultimate opinion hasn't changed. I said this originally as well. Listen to it. Have it on in the background. I wouldn't say, don't watch this movie, because I think the first half an hour is quite entertaining, and probably this would work better as a play.
Over a podcast series.
Yeah, or something. But after that, you can just have it in the background and do something else. It's a good movie for that. It's a good movie to kind of have in the background whilst you're getting on with your day, doing something else, cooking, whatever. It's okay to listen to. It's just, when you're concentrating on it 100%, the movie runs out of steam quick, I don't know exactly why. It feels like they couldn't really readapt the dialogue for the 90s properly to keep it interesting, and the jokes aren't as good. And like you said, the story is very one-track minded, with Peter Falk's character just not having even a single arc. You know, he's not changing. He's just getting more and more annoying by doing the same stuff. So again, yeah, it's sort of a passive movie. Watch it in the background just to get it off the list, just to take the box, but not highly recommended. You know?
Yeah, and again, we got one of the only reviews for it on YouTube, because who watches this movie? There's not even a lot of reviews on Rotten Tomatoes IMDb. Speaking of which, if you look on the Rotten Tomatoes IMDb, this is another very low, not well received offering. IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes. I think on Rotten Tomatoes they don't even have a score for it because not enough people watched it. But on IMDb, it's kind of below fives, and people expected more. But they love the acting, which again, want to be clear, actors are really good. It's just the characters and the writing. It needed to be really updated, adapted. It could have been more. But in a way, maybe it's fine for what it is. And that scene with Whoopi Goldberg, that one scene with her was really funny. I was like, that was a glimmer. That scene and the scene you mentioned when Woody Allen and Peter Falk are doing the movie, those two scenes are glimmers of the real potential this movie had. And it just annoyed me even more by getting to the end, seeing those two things and thinking, if you did more of this could have been a standout television movie.
Yeah. I think we covered it, man. I mean, again, the most interesting thing about this movie is that it exists. Like, I haven't heard about this, right before I watched it. And I was like, wow, all these actors did a movie together? Huh.
We should just expect that from a Woody Allen movie, television special, by proxy, because I'm telling you, there isn't a Woody Allen movie that he really hasn't got a stellar cast next to him. Or maybe I'm wrong. We're going to find out, guys. And on that note, I want to say, Simon, thanks for, doing this one again, as painful as been the first time.
Hey, it's a remake of our original review, so there you go.
Nah, I like what you did there. That actually cheers me up, and I have to say, this is a much more streamlined version of our original recording, which was a mess. Anyway, guys, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you listen on the podcast. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next one on the Woody Allen retrospective, or any other discussion we got here on Planet Tyro.